Since our first meeting in September, the President and I have spoken about the need to deepen and invest in the transatlantic relationship. We will continue to build upon the unshakable foundations of our historic alliance as we tackle together the global challenges we face and take our partnership to the next level, focused on shared opportunities ahead for growth. I look forward to our next meeting as we continue our shared mission to ensure the peace, prosperity, and security of our two great nations. The special relationship between the United Kingdom and the United States will continue to flourish for many years to come.
Donald Trump has just released a scathing article that has enraged Starmer. This is a genuine diplomatic crisis that has plunged our Prime Minister into a serious predicament. But what exactly did Trump say? And more importantly, what threats is he making? Let's clarify this. Trump is proposing a 25% tax on everything we export to the United States. That's right. This would be a devastating blow to our economy. Just think about it. A 25% tax price hike on British Range Rovers in the American market could result in a catastrophic decline in sales. Trump isn't merely threatening us with tariffs, he's launching a personal attack. He's labeling our Prime Minister's leadership as weak. The President of the United States is essentially calling our Prime Minister a coward. Starmer, of course, is trying to maintain his composure. He's doing what politicians do when they pretend everything is fine while chaos surrounds them. But let's be real, we're not fools.
Donald Trump, how was he?
It was a really good meeting. We had dinner together.
Do you have a burger? Or steak? Doesn't he have steak
He didn't have steak
meal?
on that occasion. He had chicken. He flew up from Florida, and we both wanted to ensure that we have a good relationship. That was the purpose of the dinner. And
did he feel like a man you could do business with if he was to win?
Look, of course, because it's up to the American people to choose who they want as their president. And it's up to me as Prime Minister to make sure I have a good relationship with whoever the president is. The special relationship that we do have between our two countries sits above whoever the post holder is at any given time. Mm-hmm. And it's in my nature. I believe strongly in personal relations.
This individual has faced multiple prosecutions for violence. And what was the outcome? They failed to stop his criminal activities. It's alarming when countries like Australia and Japan hesitate to share intelligence with us. These are our allies. They are worried that the Starmer government is unable to maintain control over the situation. And can you really blame them? When our own streets aren't safe, how can they trust us with sensitive information? But here's the kicker. What's Starmer's response to all of this? He keeps insisting that everything is under control. Seriously, who are you trying to fool? The statistics don't lie. And neither do the headlines in the news. The crime rate is climbing, people are living in fear, and our international reputation is in shambles. Now, it's not just Trump who's coming after us. Leaders from around the globe are questioning Starmer's ability to keep order. Australia, Japan, and even France are all taken aback. And you know what? They have valid reasons. When was the last time you felt truly safe walking down the street? And the most frustrating part is that all this criticism only fuels Trump's attacks. He's not just calling Starmer a coward anymore, he's highlighting the increasing crime rate. It seems Starmer has developed a new fixation, and Trump is certainly not pleased about it.
Listen, my advice to Keir Starmer is to stop being an idiot. Because, listen, Keir Starmer and half of the cabinet voted against President Trump's state visit last time round. We've got so many of members of the cabinet, David Lammy notably, having carried out vitriolic and ridiculous personal attacks on Donald Trump. They're all now desperately trying to backtrack, and they're all desperately trying to suck up to President Trump. You know, at best, they're going to be irrelevant, but at worst, they have done great harm to the UK's national interest. So they've got to grow up, stop playing petty student politics, and actually stand up for the UK, get a free trade agreement, work on ensuring our military and security agreements are robust, and learn the lessons of how Donald Trump is securing their border for a start.
It's not difficult to predict what will happen next, is it? You're probably curious about whether Starmer has any sort of plan. In my view, he's simply hoping that Trump will lose interest and move on to someone else. Every time Trump attacks Starmer and doesn't receive a genuine response, it inflicts serious harm on Britain's reputation. we're starting to appear weak on the global stage, and that's not sitting well with anyone. Right now, Starmer has more than just concerns about Trump. The entire world is looking at him skeptically, and is a matter of our safety. Can Starmer truly protect Britain? This is a pressing concern for many. Let's take a moment to discuss the numbers. According to the Office for National Statistics, there has been a notable rise in violent crime in England and Wales recently. Do you recall the recent high-profile incidents like those in Southport? They didn't garner much attention internationally. 3 innocent lives were lost, raising questions about whether our justice system can effectively safeguard the innocent. And let's not overlook the fact that the Crown Prosecution Service missed its opportunity. Consider the case of Axel Rudakubana. Remember Brexit? We made the decision to leave the EU, right? It seems Starmer has serious amnesia, as he acts like Brexit never occurred. He's contemplating joining the Pan-Euro-Mediterranean Convention, a duty-free trade agreement with Europe and North Africa. He's discussing closer ties with the EU and has even begun consultations with businesses. But Trump labels this as a betrayal, and you know what? Many British citizens share that sentiment. It appears that Starmer is attempting to mend relations with the EU after a difficult divorce from Brexit.
So Keir Starmer, the United States and France are Britain's biggest allies. You become Prime Minister, there could be a world in which Trump and Marine Le Pen are in office. How would you feel about this?
It's for voters in America and France to decide who they want as their leaders. And if I'm privileged enough to come into office to serve this country, I will deal with the leaders of other countries as they've been elected in by those that live there and those that voted them in.
But it's not just about finances, it's about our standing in the world. Starmer is making us appear weak, indecisive, and untrustworthy. One moment we're leaving the EU, and the next we're attempting to sneak back in through the back door. It's downright embarrassing, and Trump is relishing every second of it. He capitalizes on Starmer's fixation with the EU to validate his stance on Brexit. Polls indicate that a significant portion of the population shares Trump's concerns. They fear that Starmer will compromise our sovereignty and damage our trade relationships just to gain approval from Brussels. Can you imagine? We could miss out on substantial economic opportunities simply because Starmer can't resist flirting with the EU. He's picked a fight he can't win, and this time it's with Trump. The target? Peter Mandelson, Starmer's pick for the role of British ambassador to the United States. But Trump isn't having any of it.
I will deal with whoever is the president of America.
It's very possible that Donald Trump will return to the White House at the start of the next year. Your team has, I think, quite close links to parts of the Biden administration. Have you had any contact with the Trump team?
Well, look, you're right, we do have close links with the Biden administration. That is very important to us, particularly in terms of our history, our traditions and our values as a Labour Party. But ultimately, later this year, it falls to the American people to decide who they want as their president, and I will deal with whoever is the president of America. The special relationship, the long-standing relationship that we've had, not least on nuclear deterrence, is far stronger than the identity of the next president of the US.
Have you had any outreach or ties with the Trump campaign, the Trump operation so far?
No.
The Trump team is outraged by Starmer's actions. His push for closer ties with the EU is seen as a sign of Britain reverting to weakness and dependence. And let's be honest, they have a point. We've spent years trying to escape the EU's grip, and now Starmer is behaving as if he wants to return. Trump exploits this to portray Starmer as anti-American, and it's effective. People are beginning to question where his true loyalties lie. The most concerning aspect is that this EU crisis could cost us billions in trade with the United States. Take, for instance, the ongoing negotiations for a trade agreement between the UK and the US. If Starmer sticks too rigidly to EU standards, it could prevent American products from entering our market. Trump isn't joking around. He's threatening to completely cut us out of potential trade deals with the United States if Starmer continues down this path.
Well, I'm going to see him in about an hour, so I have to be nice, right? But I actually think he's very nice. I think he ran a great race. He did very well. It's very early, but he's popular, and I'll be seeing him, and I'll send you regards.
So why is Trump so concerned about Mandelson? It turns out that our prospective ambassador has significant connections with China, and we all know how Trump feels about China. Did Starmer really believe that Trump would just accept this without raising any objections? Starmer is attempting to justify his choice by claiming that Mandelson will bring unparalleled experience to the position. However, the Trump team isn't buying it. Nigel Farage, a close ally of Trump, is also stoking the fire by voicing serious concerns about Mandelson's ties to China. It seems Starmer has handed Trump and his team the perfect ammunition. Even members of Starmer's own party are questioning his decision. Some Labour members are baffled by what he was thinking when he nominated Mandelson. It appears he's trying to alienate everyone, including his own supporters. Trump is enjoying this. He's using the Mandelson situation to highlight just how poor Starmer's judgment really is. Share your thoughts in the comments. See you later.